It's the 8 Limbs MMA show, motherfucker. Number 1. Let's go. Welcome. Get on in here, guys. Look at that. Oh! Oosh! Looking ass, nigga. Cut the music, please. Abrupt. We don't want to... You don't want to... You know... fade out the music. We always want to just cut the music off abruptly. And if I could, I would have like a record scratch in here, so that way I can like make a little record sound anytime that I stop the music abruptly. Welcome. Glad to see you. Glad to have you here. It's been a while. So I figured maybe I should try out the whole long format style, and I should just cut these, you know, these portions of the show we have now, up until like little segments later. You know, I think that might be the best course of action. So what's up? As I have just said, it has been a while. Here, let me kind of make these images bigger, make me bigger, make this little screen here bigger, so you can see just what the hell I'm talking about today. And if that doesn't work out for us, we can always go back to scene 1 here. What's going on here? Still trying to get some stuff figured out. But yeah, great to see you. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things that has passed by, a lot of fights, a lot of cards that have passed by since the last time I did a video. I just put out a video not too long ago. And it was about a fighter to watch, and that being the Monkey King, Jordan Levitt. Love that guy and have more of those to come. But for right now, we've got some pretty hard hitting stuff to talk about, starting off with the Bellator card. And just give me a fucking, just give me a second here. How do you do that? Okay, that's how you do that. All right, so I have got to change this. I should have had this changed before I got on cam, but you know, shit happens. We got it right now. So as I've said, we have got to talk about Bellator first. 257, and rather let's just talk about the Bellator lightweight or light heavyweight rather tournament up until this point. So when you look at the Bellator light heavyweight tournament, I think the first fight we saw was right here, Ryan Bader versus Lyoto Machida. Ryan Bader absolutely dismantled Lyoto Machida, avenging that first loss I think he suffered to Lyoto Machida back in the UFC. Very good look for Ryan Bader. I'm pretty sure, you know, Ryan Bader was stoked about that win. He really didn't take that much damage in the fight. But he took some shots here and there, but relatively speaking, he didn't take that much damage. He moves on to the quarterfinals. I think that's what it is. What do you call it? Semifinals? Not really sure. I'm not really sure about tournament brackets and the names of the brackets. But I just know I like to watch them. And then we follow that up with Corey Anderson versus Dovletsan Yakshimuradov. And Dovletsan Yakshimuradov got TKO'd by intense ground and pound from Corey Anderson. Since Corey Anderson, and since any time that Corey Anderson sticks to his game plan, sticks to that ground and pound, sticks to doing what he does best, which is grounding his opponent and beating the piss out of them. Whenever he sticks to that game plan, he usually does pretty fucking well. I think that Johnny Walker fight and that KO of Johnny Walker kind of might have gotten to his head back then, because that was a time when Johnny Walker was being pushed heavy by the UFC. And so, him fighting Johnny Walker was a big deal. He was coming into that fight as the underdog, and he had a real big chip on his shoulder. And it felt really good when he TKO'd Johnny Walker. But then he tried in the next fight against Jan Blachowicz. I believe this was the second time they fought. Yeah, and Jan Blachowicz losing the first fight between him and Corey. Corey tried to strike for, I think, just a bit longer than he should have. And he ended up getting a taste of the power of Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz caught him in a fucked up way, caught him with that nasty right hand, and damn near caught him with a left hand as he was going down. Corey Anderson is honestly lucky he fell down in time, because that left hand follow up by Jan Blachowicz was coming right after that motherfucker right there, boy. Really crazy stuff. Either way, Corey Anderson's in Bellator. Corey Anderson beat Melvin Manhoff, a legend. Then he just beat Dovletsan Yakshimuradov in his debut. I gotta say, Corey Anderson is looking fucking beastly with this wrestling. He is looking really good with the ground and pound and the wrestling and just his overall game. You can tell that he is really, really, really focused on this tournament and just on Bellator, on the future. And that's one thing. And I do believe in this next round of the tournament, it will be Corey Anderson versus, check this out, Ryan Bader. Woo-wee. Ryan Bader takes down Lyoto Machida, wrecks Lyoto Machida with intense ground and pound, nasty ground and pound. Corey Anderson goes in his fight against Mr. Yakshimuradov and he does the exact same thing. Ground and pound. Dude, I need to get like a soundboard, dude, of just MMA fighters saying crazy shit. So I can just hit a button, dude. Ground and pound. Hey, dude, Corey Anderson versus Ryan Bader is sounding very good to your boy. Ryan Bader looked, like I said, Ryan Bader may have went to unanimous decision in this fight. But don't get it fucked up. Lyoto Machida is a G. Lyoto Machida is the legend. Lyoto Machida is just Lyoto Machida, bro. He hung in and he just took that. But don't let that decision, sway you in any direction just because, Corey Anderson got the finish. Ryan Bader, one, he did, the really big wrestling move where you before you shoot in on an opponent, or kind of while you shoot in on an opponent and you're ducking down, you kind of close the distance with like a hook or like an overhand. And Ryan Bader's technique of that, or usage of that, was just fucking so smart in his fight against Lyoto Machida, taking Lyoto Machida after fucking pegging him hard in the head, just taking him down with single legs and double legs. Usually just double legs, bro. He was honestly just running through Lyoto and just beating him on the ground. The power in which Ryan Bader was able to conjure up while on the ground was impressive, because when he landed the ground and pound, bro, first of all, it was loud. It was obviously heavy. You can tell by like the movement of Lyoto Machida's head when he got hit with those big elbows or those big hands. It was just scary. It was really scary watching Ryan Bader do what he does taking Lyoto Machida down and just pounding him into the fucking canvas all night. Jesus Christ. That being said, I am very much so looking forward to Mr. Bader versus Mr. Anderson. I know it's going to be a fucking great one. And then, of course, we also have, and here, let me go back. Now that those fights are done. Whoa, we're not done. We've got to talk about Vadim Nimkov versus Phil Davis. That was a very, very, telling fight. Vadim Nimkov, rather, of course, getting unanimous decision just by way of fucking pure striking, pure technique. In a lot of ways, he kind of reminded me, like his hands really did remind me of Fedor. They really did. But his striking is just so clean. His kickboxing is just so clean. And Phil Davis really couldn't get anything going. Phil Davis isn't and has never really been known for his striking. Now, I'm not saying that Phil Davis can't strike. His striking, was there. He actually, fucking wobbled Vadim once or twice in this fight. But the problem with that is he just didn't follow up. Like, I've never really known Phil Davis to have the killer instinct when it comes to the feet, or, or really like a killer instinct at all, like when he needs it. And I'm not trying to be rough with Phil Davis here. It just seems like, or it's always seemed ever since he was in the UFC, and Phil Davis is no slouch, 22-6, his record speaks for itself. But I feel like when he gets to the big show, Phil Davis could never really just close the deal. You know what I mean? It seemed like when he caught Vadim Nimkov, with those strikes, there was like almost no follow-up. There was like almost no, and I know it's Vadim Nimkov, and you don't want to walk in too quickly or too recklessly, because that could very well mean the end of the night for Phil Davis. But I feel like Phil Davis could have done more, and actually should have done more in this fight. But just didn't. And Vadim Nimkov, I don't know why I keep calling him Nimkov. I don't know why I keep doing that. Vadim, maybe because his first name is Vadim and his last name is Nimkov, but I'm kind of mixing it up and calling him Vadim Nimkov when I should call him Vadim Nimkov. Weird stuff, these Slavic names, dude. I'm trying real hard here, trying to understand these new cultures here. Well, fucking bear with me for just a second. But yeah, Vadim just took it by way of striking. And that is all that was in that fight. And then going on to the last fight, that pretty much everybody has been waiting on. The co-main event to the Juan Archuleta Sergio Pettis, I think 135 pound fight. It will be Anthony Joshua versus Yoel, give me the fucking boy. Give me the fucking dude. Yoel Romero versus Anthony Johnson. Personally, I think Yoel will probably be the fresher man in this fight, simply because not only is he coming from the middleweight division, but he's also coming off, look at that, 3 losses or 3 fights rather, with the top guys in the division. At the time, I think Paulo Costa was probably like 3 or 4 when he fought him, and then after that fight, Paulo went up to 2. So Robert Whittaker's been around 1, 2 this entire time, and of course the champion Israel Adesanya. So I think that's a good look for Yoel, but Anthony Johnson is Anthony Johnson, and I'm pretty sure Anthony Johnson still has that fucking power, dude. He came in with that power, and for sure he's going out with that power. So last fight, 2017, Daniel Cormier, he's going to have ring rust. Ring rust is or octagon rust, whatever you want to call it, is a very real thing. And I know that Anthony Johnson is going to be feeling this. So, however that goes. I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be on May 7th, of course, 2021. And it's going to be interesting. And the winner of this fight, whether it be Anthony Johnson or Yoel Romero, will be going off against the champ, Vadim Nemkov. I did it again, Vadim Nemkov. Jesus fucking Christ. So yeah, man, that is the Bellator. And like, here, let's just talk about one other thing. Where is this fight at, dude? Recent events, Nemkov Davis 2. I have got to give out an honorable mention to this card because it would be, remiss if I didn't fucking do this. Paul Daly versus Sabah Hamasi. Jeez, what a fight that was, bro. Paul Daly, longtime MMA welterweights, well-known guy, mostly well-known for him punching Josh Koscheck in his smug face after they fought in the UFC, and that's what got him kicked out of the UFC, actually. And he's been over in like Bellator. I think he originally went to Strikeforce, maybe, and then he went to Bellator. I feel like that was the trajectory of his career after that. Did he go to Strikeforce? Oh, I guess he didn't go to Strikeforce. Am I tripping? Oh yeah, he went to Strikeforce for like a couple fights. Is that Josh Koscheck? Yeah, Strikeforce, Impact. Yeah, let's say just mostly Strikeforce. He went to a lot of different places. But yeah. So. And he's been in Bellator for the majority, of his career after that whole thing. And last night, you just had a fight against this guy, Sabah Hamasi, who really showed his ass, dude, and really brought the fight to Paul Daly. Looked like he almost finished Paul Daly in that first round. Paul Daly was in a lot of trouble in this fight with Hamasi, and it like I said, it wasn't really looking good for Paul Daly. But one thing about Paul Daly is that he is a vet of this sport. You could just look at his record, bro. What is that? 42 wins, 17 losses, dude. That is a wealth of experience. And he bit down. He fucking took the punches that he had to take, and he tried to get out of the way of the punches that he did not want to take. And he ended up surviving the round. And in the second round, would you believe that Paul Daly, within the first 2 minutes, comes back rocking Sabah Hamasi a few times? Like he rocked him with like a few good things. And I think he also rocked Sabah in the first round as well. It was kind of back and forth in that first round. But Paul Daly, I would say, was hurt a lot more than Sabah. And then in the second round, he just ended up, landing a lot more, trying to build upon the times that he did hurt Sabah in the first round. And he knew that he did hurt Sabah in the first round. So he just fucking went in there, bit down, and fucking swung and kept fighting. And sure enough, Paul Daly does what? He hits Sabah with what? The signature left hand, bro. And when the left hook from Paul Daly lands on your chin, on your face, anywhere on your head, dude, it's not gonna be very good for you. It wasn't good for Sabah. Sabah went down. Paul Daly did what he did, fucking finished the fight. Ref called the fight. Paul Daly wins it, bro. This was, for me, out of the entirety of Bellator 257, this was the fight of the card, bro. Paul Daly versus Sabah Hamasi. That shit was nuts. If that was the UFC, those guys would have got $50,000. Dude, I really do wonder where Paul Daly's career would have been had he just not punched Josh, bro. Why'd you have to put where are you at, Paul? Why'd you have to put your hands on little Joshy? Huh? Paul? Why'd you have to go and do a thing like that? Put your hands on little Joshy? Look at that. What you're seeing right now is Paul Daly looking up at the sky, or at the ceiling rather, and just thinking about where he would have been had he not put his hands on little Joshy. But no, Simtex. You had to put your hands on little Joshi Kashi, and now look at you. Now you're in Bellator. Bellator is fucking. I like Bellator. You know, it's not a bad thing. But I mean, dude, Paul Daly would have probably still been in the UFC, dude. I believe that. I believe had he not done that, dude, and he was doing so good. Oh, dude, he was doing so good. Had just fucking knocked out Martin Camp in the last 3 fights of that, including that Josh Koscheck fight. He had knocked out fucking Martin Campman. Martin Campman was he was one of the men in 2009. Like, Martin Campman was a top name in 2009. And then he knocked out Dustin Hazlett. And this is before Dustin. If you guys remember Dustin Hazlett retired to go to fucking college, dude. Based. Dude was based. Lost against Paul Daly. Got fucking smashed by Rick Story when he was the horror back then. And then he lost that fight to Mark Bocek. And dude, he literally left the UFC and said, I'm going to college. Fuck you guys. You know? And I think that's just so amazing. So yeah, dude, beat Dustin Hazlett, beat Martin Campman. He was on a fucking roll, bro. He's really on a roll. But that Josh Koscheck, man, you just had to put his hands on Joshy, dude. You can't touch the Josh Koshi, dude. Unless you're Tyron Woodley, then you can fucking absolutely kill him. So yeah, man, that was Bellator, the Bellator tournament rather, up until this point. Very interesting stuff. And I think it is time to kind of segue into a little bit of the ONE championship. Can we go to ONE here? Ooh, what do you know about this? Now, we've got some things to talk about in terms of ONE. Now, let's start with the high notes. And the high notes will obviously be Christian Lee. This Christian Lee kid. The first time I heard of this Christian Lee kid, 22 years old. Jesus Christ. The first time I heard of this Christian Lee, he had beat Shinya Aoki. I didn't know anything about this man up until that point. Who's this Martin Nguyen? That's his only loss, is this Martin Nguyen. Yeah, so I first heard about him when he beat Shinya Aoki for the title. I believe that was for the lightweight belt. And then he went on to beat, was it Sagid? Arslanayev. And then of course he went on to fight Lori Lapicus, however you choose to pronounce it, and he TKO'd him. And he went up against Timothy. I'm not really sure. Is that how you would pronounce it? Timothy, like Timothy? Timothy Nastyukhin. And Timothy Nastyukhin is the man who knocked out. I forget this man's name, dude. He knocked out Eddie Alvarez in his one debut. And it was really good KO. And so a lot of people thought that he would just go into this fight against Christian Lee and just do what he did against Eddie Alvarez, do what he always does. From what I hear about him, I hear that he knocks a lot of fucking people out, a lot of people thought that he was just going to do that, or that he was going to dominate Christian Lee. I really haven't caught up with the career of Christian Lee. All I know is that, his father trains his sisters. He has like a fucking 16-year-old sister that just competed not too long ago in a ONE FC, and she did very well, dude. She won the fight. Christian Lee, like these, and of course Angel Lee, his is another one of his sister. Is that his younger or older sister? I'm not really sure. But yeah, this Christian Lee kid is really, really good. Really, really good. Caught, let's look at this. Actually, yeah, here we have the fight right here. He caught Timothy with like this nasty left hand, dude. And like the IQ that Timothy, or not Timothy, but the IQ that Christian Lee displayed here was absolutely stupendous. And in my professional opinion, we could say, oh, look at this. Why is it like this? This is kind of fucked up here. That's weird. I didn't see that. All right. So let's look at this knockout of Timothy Nasiukin, or this TKO rather, of Timothy Nasiukin by Christian Lee.
Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
So up until this point, you know, it has been, you know, a pretty standard, you know, fight. Of course, it's in the opening moments. The fight ended in the opening moments. So, you know, just got to do with that information what you will.
The way he took apart Shinya Aoki, the way he dismantled Sandhagen.
That's a nice leg kick by Timothy. I just want you guys to watch this high IQ move right here. I believe this is the moment. Timothy ducks down. Timothy's gonna look for that right straight. He kind of telegraphs, and you see, look at little Christian Lee's face, dude. Look at Christian Lee's face right now. Christian sees that Nasiukin is loading up. He senses that it's coming. You can see, like, you can literally hear the sound effect from Metal Gear Solid when you're caught, you know, like the Metal Gear Solid sound effect. And he sees that Nasiukin's loading up. Nasiukin loads up with a right straight that is parried by Christian Lee. And as he's parrying that right hand, look at Christian Lee's left, dude. He, as soon as he goes to parry it, he has that hand loaded up, and he's shooting from the hip, and he lets that left hand go after he parries the right there, boom, and catches Timothy Nasiukin with, dude, I would say thus far, that is the highest IQ punch. And I've watched pretty much, I'm pretty sure I've watched every single MMA card, or every single major MMA promotion card of 2021. So I've seen all the fights. I know what's going on in the world of MMA, and I can accurately say this. I feel thus far, this is the highest IQ punch of 2021 in all of MMA. Let's watch this again. This is why it's so important, or so important rather, not to telegraph or like working on just throwing the strike from where it is to the target, you know, and trying to do that as fast as possible and as clean as possible. When you load up, and especially when you're at the highest level and you load up and you telegraph like that, dude, bro, you are, you know, you're about to get yourself killed. And you see Christian Lee just kind of had that left hand down. The left hand was ready. He has it up. Ooh, look at that. Had it ready. And it's like, it was like a slick motion. It's like he put his hand down as he parried. And, you know, you see Nasiukin telegraphs. He gets that parry, and right as, dude, like, it's so crazy, the timing of this, you know, the timing, the accuracy, the power. It's just like the how, you know, Christian is using Timothy's momentum against him. You know, this is like some true, like, this is like the Brazilian jiu-jitsu of striking that we're seeing right here, you know. The path of least resistance, you know, taking your opponent off balance, making your opponent use his momentum against himself, and using his, you know, his fucking aggressiveness or his tenacity against himself, and just waiting for him to load up, or you know, waiting for him to do something. He eventually does something. He telegraphs before he throws that right straight. You parry it, and as he parries, He is loading that left hand up, bro. Timofey doesn't even know what the fuck it's coming. And just look at how this punch lands. What fucks me up about this entire fight is how the punch lands. Boom. Like that's nuts. Like I love the intricacies. This is as intricate as it gets. All you know, like this is like pure MMA boxing here. Or, you know, I mean just boxing, honestly. Just fucking you know, boxing, dude. Parrying that right hand. This is just basic boxing, honestly. And I love it. I love it. Let's see it one last time here. Timothy loads up, parry, left. Oh, and then he weaves the incoming left hook from Timothy. That is beautiful, bro. So we have a parry, strike, head movement, and then he just fucking finished it from there, bro. The accuracy of Christian Lee is remarkable. And then he just pegs him from like most of these shots. I think that was the only punch that didn't land on Timothy after that. And like all these shots were landing, bro. Boom. Boom. That's crazy. Timothy Nastyukin is Christian Lee is a problem. This kid is a problem, bro. Jeez. Not even just Christian Lee, the entire Lees, like all of the Lees, they are all problems, man. Angela Lee, Christian Lee, I forget their little sister's name, the 16-year-old. She's badass, dude. Crazy family of mixed martial artists. And now that we have finished with the highlight of the one on TNT series, let's go to the lowlights. Let's go to our boys, Eddie Alvarez and Demetrius Johnson here. Start off with Eddie Alvarez in his fight against Lori Lapicus. It was really rough. It was really hard to see this, you know? Because first off, Eddie's coming off of 2 losses. I mean, I would say, right? You know, not only the Timothy Nastyukin fight, but you know, the fight that got him here in the first place, right? Oh no, you know, fuck, dude. Yeah, he's fought a lot since then, actually. Okay. Oh yeah, he did fight another fight. So he actually got a win. I forgot about that submission win. But in this fight against Mr. Folayang, Eddie Alvarez was put in some bad, like Eddie Alvarez was really close from getting put away. He got hit with like a really big leg kick in this fight, dude. Against the Filipino Eduard. Yeah, he was almost out of there. In fact, it was his grappling, it was his wrestling that saved Eddie Alvarez. Ooh. Go back and look at Eddie Alvarez versus Eduard Folayang. He got hit with he had hit with the biggest leg kick. Dude, that leg kick was nasty. And like, yeah, he was almost out of there. So like this entirety of you know, Eddie's run in ONE FC has been kind of, I would say, disappointing. He got that Eduard win, but you know, then he gets in this fight with Lori Lapicus. And he's doing actually really well. He did really well up until that point in the Lori Lapicus fight. He looked really aggressive, and he looked to work that you know, that wrestling again, which it was his grappling that got him the win in that fight against Eduard. So he just decided to cut the bullshit and just go right for it. And the problem is that once he got there, I think he was holding down like maybe the left arm of Lori Lapicus, and with his right arm, the right arm of Eddie Alvarez, he started to ground and pound him, and he started to hit him while he had him. I think it was like, what was it like? Was it like, I think he was in Lori's that's something else here. Let's look up Lori because Eddie Alvarez. Let's look at this. It was a really interesting thing here. All right, so let's just go right to the point. All right, so yeah, Eddie was in Luri's half guard. And you see Eddie's looking for something there. Not making sure he's putting his head right on the side of the face of Lori Lapicus to try to gauge where he should punch and where he can punch. And you see the back of the head of Lori is kind of presented right there. And Eddie's trying to make sure he doesn't do anything. And then like he hits him, and then he started hitting him in like the back of the neck, like the side back of like the neck and the head kind of. What do they call that? What do they call that part? I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm not really sure what they call that part of the head. Starts hitting him like in the side, the side back, if that makes any sense, of the head, and just kept pounding him and pounding him and pounding him. And apparently, that hurt Lori, and the ref called it a DQ. So, I mean, that was a rather lackluster time for Eddie Alvarez. And I really do feel bad for him, because Eddie Alvarez works his ass off, win or lose. He's working really hard, and he's worked really hard to get to where he is today. So, that always sucks when, fight ends like that, especially for a guy that's 37. Eddie Alvarez is up there. He's been doing this shit for the longest fucking time, since 2003. That's ridiculous. So yeah, man, bad luck. Then we move on to Adriano Moraes versus Demetrius Johnson. And boy, did this one kind of fuck a lot of people up, man. A lot of people were kind of, let's see. Demetrius Johnson. Yes, Demetrius Johnson gets knocked out. Let's look at this, man. Let's look at this sequence. And keep in mind that if you haven't seen this fight, of course, it's on YouTube. You can go watch it. I'm pretty sure you guys have already watched this fight. But if you haven't, it's on YouTube. And this was a pretty back and forth round for the most part. Neither man was getting the better of their opponents. They were just still figuring each other out, as is commonplace for the first round of most combat sports. It's usually a filling out round universally. So that's what this was. And let's get to the finishing sequence here. Oh, look at that. Moraes tries to go for that flying knee there. Leg gets caught by Demetrius. Let's look at that again. Tries to go for that flying knee. Oh, I think he gets that flying knee, quite honestly. Maybe just barely. I think he does get that flying knee. Leg gets caught by Demetrius. He gets out of that. Ooh, and as Demetrius is coming in, Demetrius was getting a little aggressive there, trying to go for those strikes, and he just gets caught with that looping uppercut. Let's look at that one more time there. Gets caught with that knee, and I think it was that knee that made Johnson kind of start firing off like that. I think he got hit with this knee, right? I think he got hit with that knee. Boom. Yeah, he did get hit with that knee. It was knee/shin there. So he got hit with that, and I think that really pumped him up. So when he got hit with that, he tried to grab his leg, trying to take him down to punish him. And you can tell. You can tell by Johnson's body language that that shot really pissed him off. Moraes got out of that, tried to go for a spinning back fist, And right after that spinning back fist, Demetrius, of course, sees that opening. His left hand, or the left hand of Moraes, isn't all the way up, so he tries to go for that right hook, a left jab, and then I guess he maybe tries to go for the takedown. And as he goes for the takedown, or as he goes to switch levels, or lower levels rather, he gets caught by the motherfucker, bro. He gets caught by the uppercut, and then bayow, and that just puts him down. And yeah, he does go for the takedown. That's just unfortunate. See that one more time. We'll finish it off here. Caught by that knee, gets mad, tries to grab that leg, goes for that right hook. Maybe lands it, maybe not, maybe it glances. Feigns jab right here, tries to go for the takedown. As he tries to go for the takedown, Mariah says, hello. It turns out he hits him with the fully adult Russian man of an uppercut. That's exactly what that was. He hits him with the fucking Pavel Farafonov of uppercuts. Let's see that again. Hello, how are you? I can't do a really good Russian accent. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'll try better next time. Puts Demetrius down and just finishes him off, man. Wait, no, that's not the finishing sequence. I forgot about the finishing sequence. So Demetrius Johnson tries to shrimp out, tries to get back up. And as he tries to get back up, you see that Moraes just kind of like posts his head up, or posts his head in a favorable position rather, with his forearm holding that the head of Demetrius down. And then we press play, and then we get the knee of the year thus far. This is the knee. And then he hits him with the grounded knee, finishing him with ground and pound. And boy, this is why 1FC is so great. Now, I couldn't count the times. Like from, I would say, from the Aljo Petr Yan fight, or Piotr Yan fight, whatever you want to call him. I have seen a lot of times where fighters are stalling in those positions, where fighters are on their knees, or they, have a hand on the ground, or, they're doing that thing where they're kind of gaming the system when they're in these spots, because they know they can't get kneed, they can't get soccer kicked. And I've seen a lot of these positions since that Aljo fight. Aljo was doing the same thing in the Piotr Yan fight. He was just stalling. He was laying on his knees. He knew that Piotr had one of two options. Either Piotr engaged with Aljo in the ground game, and he starts working the hands, and he tries to take Aljo down from that position, or he tries to push him over and tries to get on top of him, which Aljo probably won in that fight, because on the stand-up, Aljo was getting fucked up, bro. He was getting done dirty on that stand-up. So, that could have been what Aljo was looking for. But, or the second thing that Piotr you could have done was just let Aljo up. And personally, I think that Piotr, he called out to his corner, obviously, and he said something, and like you could hear his corner answer with like something that sounded like, yeah, go ahead. At least that's what Khabib Nurmagomedov said. Khabib said that Piotr asked if the knee was there and if he should throw it or whatever. And somebody in his corner said, yeah, throw it. And he threw it. But personally, I think that Piotr wanted to fucking just drill him in the face. I think Piotr just wanted to teach Aljo a lesson with that knee, dude. I really think that, like, inside, and we can never really know why Piotr did what he did, because I mean, honestly, Piotr should have known that his knee was on the ground still. But I think that Piotr just wanted that knee more than he wanted the belt. He wanted that knee more than he wanted to live at that moment. He just wanted to just fucking, dude, ram Aljo for how Aljo was talking and how Aljo presented himself at the weigh-ins. You could tell that Piotr Yan is just one of those guys that is willing to throw a fight to teach somebody a lesson. It seems like that. I mean, he showed that. He just fucking threw the championship away to teach Aljo a lesson. I think that's what happened there. But that's neither here nor there. I digress. I like the knees. I like the knees to the grounded opponents for that exact reason. When you are in a street fight, or when you're in a fight anywhere outside of a ring or an octagon, when you, like, let's say you get hit, let's say you get put on your ass by a nasty punch in a street fight, that is a very scary moment for you in a street fight, because you know that is a street fight. You and this guy have been talking shit, saying, I'm going to do this to you, you're going to do this to me. And now you've been put on your ass in a street fight. There's no telling what this man is going to do. This man is going to kick you in the face. He's going to do everything to you now that you're on the ground and he has the upper hand. And I think that should honestly follow in MMA. Now, you are able to throw punches when your opponent's just like stalling on his knees or stalling on the ground. You can throw punches. You can try to push him over and try to get on top of him, or you can let him up. But I feel like adding the knees in there will just kind of stop all that shit altogether. Because in one, nobody wants to be in that position. Nobody wants to be in the position that Aljo was in when he was fighting Petr Yan. No one, realistically, in the context of any type of fight, wants to be on their knees while their adversary or their opponent is on top of them, or standing up in front of them. Like, that's not what anybody wants. So I like the fact, and so does Demetrius Johnson. In fact, Demetrius Johnson, after the Petr Yan fight, was one of the only people that said, yeah, I think that knees should be legal. Knees to a grounded opponent should be legal in the unified rules. And he said for that exact reason, because people like to stall out, people like to, just hang out on their knees, knowing that their opponent can't fucking just blast them. And if their opponent, like, look at Pride, bro. You think anybody in the history of Pride has ever been in that position willingly? Do you think that? Do you think anybody in Pride has just been on one knee in front of their opponent willingly? You think that's how that worked in Pride? Or in Dream, if Dream had like soccer kicks and stomps and shit like that? I can't remember. And it's definitely not like that in one. So yeah, bro, like, I like the knees to the grounded opponent, because when your opponent is on top of you, and better yet, when your opponent is in a favorable position, like side control, usually side control, it's whatever in the UFC. You can kind of get out of side control if you have a good ground game, or bottom game rather. You can find your way out of side control if you work on it a lot. But side control should be like death. It should feel like death. It should feel like the most amount of tension and the most amount of pressure on you, because of the knees coming into play. Whenever your opponent's on top of you, bro, I want the person on the bottom to be deathly afraid of what could potentially come their way as a result of being on the bottom in this unfavorable position. This is what I mean, dude, I'd like to see it, I really would. I really would, And also, let's get these or at least we got to get the octagon out of there, dude. The octagon just makes for some, I don't know. I feel like the circular ring here is better. The circular cage here is better. I feel like it doesn't allow for a lot. And of course, the one cage here is a lot bigger, seemingly, than the UFC cage. So, we gotta do something. We gotta do something about this octagon. I think we gotta get this octagon out of there. It's a shame that the UFC has literally built their entire fucking business structure off of a fucking shape. They could, even if the UFC wanted to, bro, they could never get away from the octagon, bro. They could never get away from the octagon. The octagon is synonymous with the UFC. What was the octagon known for before the UFC, dude? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. So that brings me to my last point when it comes to the one championship, or just one in general. out of all of the MMA fighters, right? That, or rather, here, let me rephrase that. Out of all of the UFC fighters, yeah, out of all of the UFC fighters that have left the UFC and come to one, the only UFC fighter to do, I mean, Demetrius Johnson won the tournament. He won the Grand Prix rather, in the flyweight division. So you have to give Demetrius that. Even Eddie Alvarez beat Edward after he got put in a very, very crazy position. But I would say out of all of these guys, out of Sage Northcutt got his fucking face broken in his first fight. I think John Lineker fights on the next card. So maybe John Lineker can kind of like snap this bad luck cycle. Demetrius Johnson just got KO'd by the champion in a pretty spectacular way. I think out of all of the UFC fighters that have come to one, the only fighter to do well in one that comes from the UFC is Brandon Vera, right? Like I feel like that is the case. I feel like I'm not wrong when I say that. So far, the UFC does not have like a great track record of sending over fighters to one and them doing good. Or fighters leaving, or rather fighters leaving. Where's Brandon? Is Brandon Vera? Where's Brandon Vera? Brandon, did I spell it wrong? Vera. What the where again? Bro, where's Brandon Vera? Is he not on here anymore? Is he just gone? Wait, what am I looking for? Am I looking for fight? Bro, where's Brandon Vera, bro? Where's Brandon Vera gone? What? I don't understand what's going on here. Where could he be? Share Dog, what's going on? Why can't I find Brandon Vera? All right, so here's what I'll have to do. Let's go. Let's just do this. No big deal. We'll just what was it? Which one was it? No. Recent events. I think it's Fist of Fury. No. All right, this is what we're gonna have to do, bro. I think this is the right one, right? No. Or no, wait. This is the right one. God damn, it's a shame that I have to go through all of this just to find Brandon Vera. So Umar Kane beat Elaine Ngalani. And Ngalani beat Brandon Vera, did he not? Where the fuck is Brandon Vera, bro? Didn't this guy beat Brandon Vera? Or am I just absolutely wrong? Or did I? Oh no, Angla Song beat Brandon Vera, right? Yes, there we go. Oh. Do you see what these people put me through? Yeah, so I mean, like, I would say that he came over to one after the UFC. He beat Igor Sabora, beat Paul Chang, beat Hideki Sakine rather, and beat Mauro Cirilli. So I mean, I think Brandon Vera is like the only fighter from the UFC to come over and do well. I think he's still champ. Is he not champ anymore? I guess not. Maybe this guy's champ. Not really sure. Either way, man. Yeah, so it's been a pretty rough go of it for the UFC fighters, or the UFC fighters that come, or the fighters that come from the UFC to one. I think that's like a bad transition. Like, I don't know if it's just bad luck or, what's going on with these guys, but they just aren't. I mean, Demetrius Johnson by far has done the best out of the recent additions from the UFC to one. I think Demetrius Johnson has done the best. And I think he honestly just got caught with like, just like an unfortunate shot. What can you do when you get caught like that? But I think that's kind of, I think it's kind of telling in a way, I think, yeah, of course, it's a different landscape than the UFC is. Slightly different rules. Slightly different rules, but those slightly different rules like mean a lot. So maybe we'll see some more UFC fighters come over from America to Singapore, and let's see how they do. Maybe Demetrius Johnson, or Adriano Moraes rather, was saying that he would give Demetrius Johnson a rematch if he wanted it. Eddie Alvarez has recently been in talks to box. Fucking what's the guy that was like, they took a picture of him in drag, he does cocaine, Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, there's talks of fucking Eddie Alvarez fighting Oscar De La Hoya for whatever reason. So there's a lot of interesting guys going, or a lot of interesting things rather going on with these guys from the UFC. And then next we have John Lineker here, another UFC vet that comes over to the ONE FC ring there. It's gonna be interesting. And wait. Oh, so John Lineker has fought twice since he's been in one. He has 2 wins. So John Lineker is up. Damn, that's cool. That's based. John Lineker versus Troy Worthen. Very interesting stuff. Ooh, he's fighting out of Sanford MMA. Dude, you got 2 Americans here. That's interesting. Yeah, those guys at Sanford aren't fucking around either, man. Where's John? Where does John train at? Oh, American Top Team. What was this? OCS Jiu-Jitsu? What's that? What that? Who's over there? Okay, that's it. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, John Lineker is the next ex UFC fighter to fight in the ONE on TNT series. Who's fighting in the 4th one? Who's in the 4th one? I think in like the 4th the 4th ONE on TNT card, it's gonna be Shinya Aoki. Ooh, Eddie Alvarez is fighting again. Eddie Alvarez is fighting someone. I don't know who he's fighting yet. That's interesting. Edouard Folyang versus Shinya Aoki and Colby Northcutt. I don't know. Is she related to? She kind of does look like Sage Northcutt. So like his sister or something. Yeah, I'm not really sure. So yeah, that's all from ONE. Look out for ONE, I guess. Yeah. Let's get on over to like this well, what can I call this next thing that we're about to go over? What can I say about this? It was definitely the most interesting thing going on Saturday. Now, I was split on Saturday between watching the UFC, Gastelum versus Whitaker, and watching Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Oh boy. What can I say about this card, bro? Damn. First thing I can say about this card for sure is that this card made black people look terrible, dude. This card set black people back fucking 50 years. We're back in the 70s with this shit, dude. You know? Terrible thing for black people. Terrible. I think there were like 4 fights. 2 of them were meme fights. 2 of them weren't. They had like this dude, like fucking Bosco or Roscoe or some niggas that cannot fight, bro. That was the first fight. Some niggas that cannot fight. I think they just had like some beef or some shit. Really stupid. First fight. The second fight was like an actual boxer versus some Latin music star or something like that. And the Latin music star you know, gets knocked down twice, and after the second time he just decides to stay down. Good for him. And then of course the third and the best fight of the night was Frank Mir versus was it Steve Cunningham? Who was it? I think his name was Steve Cunningham or something Cunningham. Something Cunningham something. Either way, we all know what we came here for, and we came here for Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. And I said that Jake Paul was going to run through Ben Askren. You know, I don't feel proud about that. I mean, it was kind of obvious. Anybody that knows Ben Askren and anybody that knows Jake Paul knew that Ben Askren was going to get knocked out by Jake Paul. I feel like that should have been evident. I feel like if dude, I was in like a voice chat on Discord. I was in a fucking voice chat on Discord, and there were people because they hate Jake Paul so much, right? There are people unironically talking about Ben Askren beating Jake Paul, bro. Saying, hey, what do you want to bet? You want to bet? It's like, nigga, I'm not gonna bet I'm not gonna make a bet with you that I know I'm gonna win, bro. I'm not just going to, you know, I'm not that type of person. I'm not what you call a guy that searches for soft targets. I like hard targets, dude. I like the hard targets. And this was, it was pretty evident to me. Like I felt like everybody should have known that this was going to happen, especially after that the Damian Maia fight. But I think that really showcased just how much Ben Askren cannot box. So the fact that he took this fight after his last fight was against Damian Maia, you know, showed me that Benny Boy is just in here for the money. And as you see from these love handles here, he's into money and the cake rolls there. There's nothing wrong with cake rolls, man. I like cake rolls too. Shit. So let's watch Ben get knocked out. Here, let's actually change it to number 3 there. There you go. Let's see this. That was a nice straight to the body by Jake as well. Now, and let's kind of critique Jake here. Now, Jake, you know, for the most part, he looks pretty good. He looked pretty good here. You know, not too bad. I feel like they're still fat in his striking. That was a nice left hand. Look at that left hook, though. That was like a cobra, you know, or some type of fast serpent biting its prey, you know, striking its prey real quickly before its prey gets or you know, his prey succumbs to the venom or something like that. Let's get to the finishing sequence here. Tries to go for that lead overhand, tries to go for that rear overhand. Ooh, and then he goes jab straight to the 4, dude. 1-4. Straight to the rear hook. And this is what gets me, dude. Ben gets up. You know, he seemingly is ready to go. The ref looks at Ben, tells him to go back, tells Jake to go back to his corner, tells Ben to walk to him. And you know, I guess I could see, like, I think that the ref just kind of got confused by the natural posture of Ben Askren. Like, that's Ben's natural posture. Like he comes, like he's not straight up, right? His back isn't straight up like everybody else. He's kind of like at like a hunch, you know, naturally. You know, maybe like I don't know. Maybe this was a good call by the ref. I really don't think so. I mean, Ben has enough fucking brain damage as it is. You know, I feel like that knee, and I feel like that knee was enough, bro. I feel like that knee really took years off his life, dude. And I don't want to see Ben just fucking get punched in the head, dude. I hate this shit. Yeah, I mean, like that first step, like the first step that Ben took was kind of suspect, I'd say. Let's see that. I guess, a little bit. And the fight is stopped. The ref calls it off. Jake wins the fight. Jake is the better fighter, obviously, or better boxer. You know, definitely, probably not the better wrestler. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, probably not the better wrestler. I'll still give Ben that. You know, I have to give Ben the wrestling, but the boxing certainly not. I hope that Ben. I almost called him Ben Shapiro for a second. I hope that Ben Askren has got his money worth out of this. I hope that he just fucking, bro, just focuses on training the young wrestlers or the young MMA fighters. I know he has like a wrestling school. You know, train the young wrestlers, and dude, just fucking spend time with your family. Stop all this nonsense, Ben. Yeah, I mean, and that was the entire card. So here's where I have a big fucking problem. Between the cards, they just had like these shitty performances, and like, not only did they have like the shitty performances, they also had like these. They had like these I don't want to call them segments, but they had like these periods where we just watch fucking Jewish Pete Davidson, right? And his goofy fucking face smoke weed with Snoop Dogg and just shoot the shit, about, talking shit about Jake Paul or something. At one point in time, we had Steve Urkel, showing the fact that he had his own strain of weed, or like his own weed business now. So apparently we should just buy weed from Steve Urkel. I thought it was cool. A lot of the people that I was watching the card with, they didn't like the Steve Urkel aspect as much. I appreciated it. I also appreciated the Steve Urkel, what do they call that when like the Steve Urkel, damn, what do they call that shit when like a celebrity like makes an appearance? The Steve Urkel, let's say the appearance, the Steve Urkel appearance, I found to be very cool. They had weed and Steve Urkel mixed, so yeah, that was pretty much the highlight. Other than the Steve Cunningham Frank Mir fight, which was a fucking fantastic boxing match, right? Frank Mir really put on for MMA in that fight, dude. That was very interesting. I really think that Frank Mir should really stick to boxing, bro. Frank Mir looks good as a boxer. Came in a little heavy, 276 pounds, I think it was. A little heavy, but Frank looks good with the hands, man. I definitely do like this, and he definitely gave Steve a run for his money. But other than that fight, all the other fights were shit, including the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight. And it was really just a big fucking meme. I don't know how they got all of these stars to be there. Apparently they had to pay them a lot of money, because I mean, fuck, they had a lot of interesting people there that I would imagine cost a lot of money. You had Steve Urkel, right? I've already mentioned that. They had Justin Bieber. They had Ice Cube. They had Too Short and E40. Who else do they have? Did I already say Justin Bieber? Yeah, I did say Justin Bieber. They had Doja Cat. They had some other thought that raps. What was her name? Saweetie or something? Some thought. So they had like some people that I would imagine, you have to pay a pretty penny to book. So yeah, man, that was the Ben Askren Jake Paul boxing match. And personally, I feel like it was at least more entertaining than the UFC fight that night. The entirety of the Gastelum Whitaker card. I feel like just watching the blunders and watching Steve Urkel with Snoop Dogg smoking his weed and watching the thoughts shaking their ass, I think that was more interesting to at least make fun of than it was to watch the UFC card that night. Even though we did go back and forth between the UFC card, the UFC fight night, and the Askren Paul fight. I just mostly paid attention to the Jake Paul Askren card. simply because of the entertainment value, right? So that's that. I really don't. I can't really tell you. All I can tell you is that Kelvin Gastelum got it put on him, bro. Kelvin Gastelum got outstruck in that fight, dude. Robert Whittaker, I know you didn't want to fight Israel initially. I'm not sure what you had going on, but it's time, bro. You gotta fight Israel again. Like, there's no one else for you to fight. Fight Israel, bro. Like, please let that be your. I'd imagine that's your next fight. So that's what we have to look forward to. And that was the Jake Paul Ben Askren bullshit. Now let's get into the nastiness here, dude. This is nastiness here. Oh boy, stretch out a little bit. So interesting card here, the Kamaru Usman Jorge Masvidal card. Now I already made a fight analysis to this, and I think for the most part my fight analysis stays the same. I do have Kamaru Usman. Jorge Masvidal is obviously the more explosive striker, rather, and the veteran in this fight. But I just think that Kamaru Usman's game plans coupled with his newfound success with trainer. What's the trainer? What's the trainer that trains trains at Elevation? God damn, what's that man's name, fool? I'm forgetting everybody's name, dude. God damn, what's the dude that trains he trains Rose, and he trains Trevor Whitman. So Kamaru Usman has been working with Trevor Whitman, and that dude, he looked really good in his last fight against Gilbert Burns, man. And it seems like that training with Trevor Whitman, a fantastic trainer, by the way. Trevor is a fantastic trainer. I think it's doing really well for him. And I think that Kamaru is only going to go, I think there's nowhere but up for Kamaru. I'm not sure how much longer Kamaru Usman has in MMA. Like, his knee is shot. The man can't even fucking run. Like, the man is champion. He doesn't even run. He can't run anymore because his knees are so fucked from wrestling, bro. And he beat Jorge Masvidal in their last outing. So, like there is that. I really do think that Kamaru Usman is going to do it again. I think that Jorge Masvidal's best bet is to not let Kamaru get anywhere near him. But the problem with that is Jorge is going to want Kamaru Usman to get close to him, so he can land, at least those strong punches. Of course, he has those nasty roundhouse kicks that he can attack Kamaru with from the outside. But I mean, to do that, he's going to have to set those kicks up with punches. They're pretty fast, but I don't think they're so fast that Kamaru can't catch those quick roundhouses from Jorge that he usually throws to the body. I don't think that's what Jorge wants to do. So I mean, like, his best bet is going to be to, try to be as explosive as possible and try to be as accurate as possible. That is the only way Jorge Masvidal is going to beat Kamaru Usman. He's not going to out wrestle him. Could he outstrike him? I mean, fuck, dude. Yeah, that depends. It really does depend. It depends on how he goes about it. I feel like the only time Jorge should attack from the outside, or the only tools he should use when he's on the outside, are his hands, dude. The thing is, I think Kamaru is like a little bit taller, if not the same size as Jorge. So Jorge can't really play big man, or tall man rather, and he can't really strike from the outside as effectively as a strong man or a tall man, rather. So dude, I don't know what tools Jorge has in this fight besides explosive power. And in order for him to land that explosive power, bro, he's going to have to set that shit up well, to land it in any meaningful way. And on the other hand, he's going to have to worry about the explosive power coming right back from Kamaru Usman, whose striking just gets better and better and better. And now that he's training with Trevor Whitman, training with Justin Gaethje, you know, having those fucking crazy sparring sessions in the gym with Justin Gaethje, he's ready for power. Kamaru Usman is ready for power. He's ready for explosiveness. This nigga trains with Gaethje himself. So I mean, the chaotic element that Jorge Masvidal can bring to a fight, Kamaru is prepared for. The explosiveness that Jorge Masvidal can bring into a fight, Kamaru is prepared for. Jorge Masvidal's wrestling, relevant to Kamaru Usman's wrestling is null and void. So I mean, like, where, how does Jorge Masvidal beat this man? How does he do this? I can't figure out how. I really do have Kamaru Usman in this fight. I think he's gonna do exactly what he did the last time again. And this time, I think that there's a greater chance that Kamaru might finish Jorge Masvidal. You know, if Jorge is not careful, you know, thinking that he's still fighting the same Kamaru that he fought way back in August. This isn't the same Kamaru at all. This Kamaru's striking, you know, is looking a lot better than it did even in August, dude. You know, this guy is constantly progressing, constantly elevating. And let's look at some of the other fights on this card, man. Yeah, Jeff Molina down here. What we got going on down here? We have Jimmy Crute versus Anthony Smith. That's interesting. Alex Oliveira versus Randy Brown. That's kind of interesting. Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall, the rematch. That is very interesting to me. Where what is you know, Uriah is coming off 3 wins right here. Uriah is on you know, I guess he's on kind of a high right now. Whereas Chris Weidman rather is kind of, you know, not so much. He won that fight against Amari Akhmadov, but you can tell that you know, he was really pushed in that fight. Now I think who won in this last fight? Who won out of Chris Weidman and Uriah Hall the first time? Where's that at? Where is it? Okay, so Chris Weidman won. Chris Weidman won by way of TKO. So I mean, it just depends on where Uriah is at this point. I'm not really sure what he's gonna go out there and try to do, if his grappling has gotten better. But so far we know Uriah Hall to be a striker, so I mean, that's probably what we can expect from him, and that's probably what Chris Weidman can expect as well. So I really do hope that Uriah Hall has brushed up tremendously on his ground game. I really do, because he's gonna need it against Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman's looking to jump back into relevancy in terms of the middleweight division, and he's going to definitely try to make Uriah Hall a stepping stone. Is Uriah Hall ranked? Is he ranked? I think, is Chris Weidman ranked? Yeah, Chris Weidman is ranked. Yeah, they're both ranked. Okay, yeah, so they're both ranked. So yeah, Chris Weidman will definitely be looking to make Uriah Hall a stepping stone, and it's up to Uriah Hall to make sure that doesn't happen. How he makes sure that doesn't happen is entirely on him, and I can't really talk about it. I can't really speak on it. Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Woo! I think this is like the biggest, or like one of the biggest challenges that Valentina has had since, I'd say, you know, probably Amanda Nunes. Yeah, I'd say Amanda Nunes was like the last time Valentina has been pushed to any true extent. So I mean, like, thus far, Amanda Nunes was obviously the last woman to give you know, Valentina her loss. So, you know, so yeah, man. I mean, Valentina versus Jessica Andrade. I think Valentina might be the bigger woman, right? Jessica is 5'2", little lady, yeah, 5'5". So Valentina definitely rather does have the reach, I would imagine, the height. as well, because like I said, dude, fucking Jessica Andrade is really dense, really short, but she is really powerful. She has a great ground game. She has fucking great takedowns, and I mean, we all saw what happened in that first fight between her and Rose. Very interesting woman, man. Like I'm really interested in this fight. I think that this is going to be a test for Valentina. But also Valentina definitely does have the tools to keep Jessica Andrade at bay. Keep those scary, powerful fucking hands that she has, and those scary, powerful fucking takedowns that she has at bay. If any woman is able to keep Jessica's power at bay, it's going to be Valentina. And I see her doing that. I see her doing that. Like fucking, she trains at Tiger Muay Thai. It's going to be a very difficult time trying to get in on her as Jessica Andrade needs to. Like it's you don't want to get close to anybody that trains in Thailand, bro. Anybody that trains in Thailand as much as Valentina Shevchenko, you really don't want to get close to, because they know how to tear you up, and they will tear you up. Jessica has got to be aggressive, overly aggressive on the inside, because I have a feeling that she will very rarely be on the inside or be able to get on the inside. So while she does get on the inside, she has got to be uber ultra aggressive in there against Valentina. She's got to do everything while she's on the inside, because for the majority of this fight, I see Valentina Shevchenko keeping Jessica Andrade on the outside, by way of just fucking Muay Thai style long striking, dude. And I'm not sure if Jessica is able to deal with that. I guess time will tell. That's the only way. But Jessica Andrade is fucking game, dude. She is game, and she's gonna figure something out. And if she does figure something out, it could be a bad night for Valentina. I'm glad that this fight is happening, because this flyweight division, or this women's flyweight division, was getting pretty stagnant, man. I mean, look at all the people that look at the people that have come before Jessica, losing in very usually very dominant fashions to Valentina. So yeah, that's another fight to look forward to. I am definitely looking forward to those fights. And dude, I have never been excited for a women's fight as much as I was for this next one coming up, and that is Weili Zhang versus Rose Namajunas. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rose is coming off her the win against Jessica Andrade, sending Jessica up to the flyweight division. And she did that after she came off another loss, or a loss to Jessica, that nasty slam. She got slammed on her head, and before that, she fucking picked apart Joanna Jacek, or Joanna Young Jacek. I'm not really sure how to say her name. And Michelle Watterson, I think that's how people say it. So yeah, dude, Rose Namajunas versus Weili Zhang. I'm not sure at all how this is going to go. I feel like for the majority of this fight, we're going to see striking. Weili Zhang likes to strike, has some big hands. That was pretty evident in her last fight against Joanna Young Jacek. And I mean, it's been pretty evident throughout her career. She has some submissions as well. She does have a ground game, but as does Rose. I guess it probably comes down to the whichever woman just gets in there first and just lands first and just attacks first. I think it's going to be like one of those fights, and I really don't see either women or either one of these either women backing down. I don't see that. I don't see either women conceding, unless they are too hurt, to the point to where they can't defend themselves. I can't see any of that. I think this is going to be a game fight. I think both of these women are going to put it on each other. I feel like it's going to be very reminiscent to Joanna Jędrzejczyk fighting Weili Zhang, you know, which was probably like the best fight of that year and the best women's fight of all time, dude. When it comes to best fights of all time, that the Rose Namajunas Weili Zhang fight is up there with the Bonner Griffin fight, bro. Honestly, easily up there. And as far as women's fight goes, that is the best women's fight ever. So I mean, interesting to see what is going to happen. I mean, fuck, dude. I really couldn't even tell you. Like, this is just one of those fights where both fighters are very well rounded, and both fighters. I mean, Weili Zhang is obviously the more veteran fighter, but fighting at the highest level, Rose Namajunas, you know, has been doing this for, you know, a while as well. So yeah, dude, 2013. When did Weili Zhang start fighting? Damn, 2013 as well, dude. So she was just fucking knocking these fights out, dude, back in the day. Dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights in 2016. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fights in 2017. 2 fights in 2018. 3 fights in 2019. 6 fights in 2016, 7 fights in 2017. That is absolutely redonkulous, bro. That is redonkulous. Look at this. In 2016, she fought February, May, July, August, September, and then December. 2017, she fought January, February, May, June, July, August, October. Hey, dude, this woman is this is a superwoman right here, dude. Like I said, I'm not really sure about this fight. I really can't even give context on this fight. All I know is that both of these women are outrageously well-rounded, and dude, they're both fucking dogs, bro. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible, bro. Like, they're both animals. They're not gonna give. This is going to be, I mean, like, this is going to compete with Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk for sure. Can't wait for it. Then Kamaru Usman, I've already told you how I think this fight is going to go. And that's where it stands for me, at least. I think Kamaru Usman is going to take it. You know, he's going to take it again. And now let's wind down a little bit. You know, we've been at this for a little bit, at this for a while, hour and 27 minutes. Let's give it a little while longer, because I have some kind of honorable mentions to go over, some honorable topics, as I think I'll call it from now on, to kind of cover. And I just want to start off with Kevin Holland. Where's my man Kevin Holland? Can we get my man Kevin Holland down to the stage? We gotta talk, bro. We gotta talk. Can we talk about Kevin Holland? Oh, before we talk about Kevin Holland, bro, I've got to do this. I've got to. Okay. Let's talk about Kevin Holland, man. Kevin Holland, in December or January, knocks out a legend, Jacare Souza, or Ronaldo Souza, in a very unorthodox and a very interesting way from the bottom. Hits him with a hammer fist, then he hits him with like this big hook, and then he just finishes the fight in a very, very unorthodox way. He goes on to fight Derrick Brunson. Derrick Brunson takes him down over and over, lays on him. Derrick Brunson, by the end of the fight, was very tired. And so was Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland was just being taken advantage of rather on the ground, and there is very little he could do about it. And so after that, he decides to go ahead and hop into this fight against Marvin Vettori. And Marvin Vettori does much of the same thing that Derrick Brunson did against him. And he takes him down. He pounds him on the ground when he's on the ground. And he just kind of holds him there. So what kind of perplexes me about Kevin Holland in like these last two fights was kind of finding out that Kevin Holland, with the body type that he has, with the wiry strength that he has, that he doesn't have a bottom game. Kevin Holland, how do you not have a bottom game with your body frame? Like he's tall, he's lanky, and I really do think that he is able to pull off a lot more than he knows that he is. I feel like whether it was Marvin Vettori or whether it was Derrick Brunson, when they were in the full guard of Kevin Holland didn't seem like somebody that knew how to operate in a full guard. He didn't know where to go. He didn't know what he wanted to attack for, or even how to attack, and I know it's one thing that people like to say about jiu-jitsu, especially the bottom game when it comes to MMA, is that you punch a black belt in the face on the ground one time, he becomes a brown belt. Do it again, he's a purple belt, so on and so forth. And I really do get that. But I mean, Kevin Holland is 21-7. This guy has had over 30 fights. He's been doing this for, or no, wait, not over 30 fights, but he has almost 30 fights is what I wanted to say. He has almost 30 fights. He's been doing this for a long time. How or why he doesn't have a somewhat usable bottom game, especially like with his body type, it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand how he doesn't have that. Now I hear that he's going to train with DC on his wrestling. What he doesn't need to do that, first off. And maybe he does. He does need to work on his wrestling just so he can learn how to stuff takedowns. He doesn't take people down. So I mean, if he wants to learn how to take people down, sure, that's cool, that's nice, that's fine. But he doesn't take people down. What he needs is to learn how to stuff takedowns, for sure. He needs to learn how to defend them hoes. And I think that DC is the right person to help him learn how to stuff those takedowns. But another thing is, even because like you're going to get taken down, I mean, not all the times. If your defense becomes really good, you'll be fine. You'll be kind of like Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya has some really good takedown defense, actually. So I mean, Kevin Holland, hopefully DC gets him to that level. But also, he has got to work on his jiu-jitsu, bro. Like, he looked ridiculous on the ground. He looked ridiculous on the bottom. It's easy to kind of be in control on the top in a way, especially if you know how to punch, you know how to do these things, you know how to just be mean and nasty on the ground. It's easy to be on top. When you're on the bottom, that is when like your skills will come in, and help you out of those situations that he was definitely in the Vettori and the Brunson fight. Like, you have to, especially at this level, you have to have that good jiu-jitsu game, dude. You really do. And Kevin Holland, by all accounts, he definitely has the body for a good jiu-jitsu game. He's fucking long, he's lanky, and then he's wiry, bro. He's hella strong. If he is able to just, he wasn't even really, it's sad, bro. Like, it's sad. Not only should he work on his takedown defense and his wrestling, he needs to work on his jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is not fucking there. And he has submissions on his on his record rather. That he does. I can't take that away from him. I'm not trying to take that away from him. But like he has got to, like, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dude. Twice in a row. And I get that Marvin Vettori saw what happened in the Brunson fight and he kind of took that and ran with it. And I get it. But damn, bro, like you gotta have the jiu-jitsu, bro. Kevin Holland should have a good jiu-jitsu game. He should have a good bottom game. He really should, bro. And I really do hope that he works on not only that takedown defense, but that damn jiu-jitsu, bro. Like, shit. Like, that, honestly, man, that will keep people from taking you down quicker, dude. Like a solid fucking jiu-jitsu game and just locking people up when they take you down and they have you, you know, at an advantage and then you make it a disadvantage to them. That's one of the most demoralizing things is when your opponent takes you down but can't do anything with you because you're much better on the bottom than he is on top. So yeah, dude, Kevin Holland jiu-jitsu game, I'd like to see it. And speaking of Kevin Holland, I think that a good opponent for Kevin Holland right now would definitely be Sean Strickland. Could you imagine Sean Strickland versus Kevin Holland? You know, if this fight, dude, if Dana were to make this fight would have to be for, you know, the BM weight. Wait, he's a catchweight division. What is this? He's middleweight. Why did you say catchweight division? Well, I guess maybe he fights at both. Maybe he fights at welterweight and middleweight. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, dude, I think that would be interesting. An interesting fight and a good comeback fight for Kevin Holland and for Sean Strickland as well. Sean Strickland's been doing his goddamn thing since he has came back or fully recovered from that accident, that motorcycle accident. Great to see both of these guys, and I can't wait to see these guys fight. It's gonna happen. Sean Strickland versus Kevin Holland is going to happen, and when it does, your boy's gonna be there, dude. Your boy's gonna be on fucking, you know where I go to watch these. Another thing that I'd like to talk about, another honorable mention, is Ciryl Gane versus Alexander Volkov, and not just Ciryl Gane versus Alexander Volkov, but where also Derrick Lewis. Oh, sorry, I just got a text. Also Derrick Lewis, I think is very interesting because I thought that Derrick Lewis would be fighting Ciryl Gane. I really did think that fight between Derrick Lewis and Ciryl Gane was going to happen. So I'm pretty shocked to see that Ciryl Gane is going to be fighting Alexander Volkov. But I think after, and I'm still surprised that Curtis Blades is at number 3 after getting fucking, decked like he did by Derrick Lewis. I don't know. I see maybe Curtis Blades versus Jairzinho. I think that's the only thing that makes sense for Curtis Blades and Jairzinho. I really thought that we would see Derrick Lewis versus Ciryl Gane, but since we're seeing Ciryl Gane versus Volkov, let's focus on that. So Ciryl Gane, I'm a Ciryl Gane fanboy now, or not fanboy, but I would say bandwagon rider. I guess you could say. I'm definitely on the Ciryl Gane bandwagon, and I have been since before I believe the Dos Anjos fight. I think it was before the Dos Anjos fight when I really did a deep dive into this guy. And Jesus Christ, can this man fight? And it's a beautiful thing watching Ciryl Gane fight because he's a big guy. If you look at his body frame right there, he's a big guy, tall guy as well at 6'5". But it's not just his size. It's the fact that he doesn't use his size. You know, he moves like he's maybe a middleweight. You know, maybe like a big middleweight. he definitely moves like a light heavyweight. Like I could see him at light heavyweight. But you know, obviously he's really heavy. He's probably too heavy to cut down to light heavyweight. That would be a stretch for this man for sure. But he moves as if he is a light heavyweight. He is more focused on technique. He is more focused on accuracy. He is more focused on the science of MMA rather than, Muay Thai or kickboxing. He's more focused on the science. And honestly, yeah, dude, he does have submissions, bro. His submission game is fucking good. Like, let's not sleep on that. This dude's getting fucking knee bars and shit, dude. So I mean, he's well-rounded, and like he's just downright scientific and just technical with the way that he chooses to fight. And although Alexander Volkov has been looking good as of late, namely in his fight against Alistair Overeem. Yeah, there you go. Walt Harris, he looked fucking very terrifying in that fight. So Volkov is on a tear himself, you know, beating Walt Harris and beating Overeem in the way that he did, both by way of KOs. Yeah, dude, he's looking a lot bigger. You know, he's looking like he has like a lot more pop in his punches here. The thing about, and how tall is he? What is he, like 6'7"? I think he's like maybe like 6'7". I don't know. They don't really fucking tell you shit here. But the thing that gets me is Cyril Gane. It's just really got, like, I think Cyril Gane is like kind of a prodigy in a way, you know? I was reading on ShareDog the other day, and like it was like this little thread about Cyril Gane. This dude had mentioned, and like the first fight that I watched of Cyril Gane when I did like a deep dive on him was his first Muay Thai fight. In his first Muay Thai fight, he fought like a European or like a French Muay Thai champion in his first fight. And he beat him. And he beat him bad. He beat him badly. Like he beat him. Like when I saw that first kickboxing fight of Cyril Gane, I had thought that had probably been like the 7th kickboxing fight that he'd been in. You know, or like at the very least that he had like a lot of training before that fight. But in his first fight, he fights a European or, you know, kickboxing champion, and he fucking decimates him. Like decimates him, bro. And not by sheer power, not by bullying him around. He does it by technique. He does it by just pure skill, bro. That shit blew my mind. And I didn't know, like I knew that was his first fight. I came to find out that was his first fight. But I didn't know that his first fight was against a fucking kickboxing champion. I just found that out yesterday. So like that's what I talk about. You know, when I talk about this guy being a prodigy, I really do see him as such. And you know, people that MMA fans see as prodigies, sometimes, you know, they aren't that. You know, sometimes it just takes the right fighter to put them in their place. And maybe Alexander Volkov might be the guy to put Cyril Gane in his place. But I absolutely just don't. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that Cyril Gane or in the last 2 fights, Volkov has been doing so well. I mean, it's kind of iffy with the Walt Harris thing. You know, everybody knows about Walt Harris. His stepdaughter was murdered. Terrible situation for Walt Harris, and ever since then, it's like Walt Harris really hasn't been in it as much as he was before. You know, that tragedy that befell upon his family happened. So I mean, I guess you can, you know, just chalk that one up to whatever. And then he fights Overeem in that UFC fight night, and everybody knows that Overeem is on his, or just, you know, retired. I think Overeem is retired now, right? Is he? I think they kicked him out of the UFC. I believe. I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. Is that right? I feel like that's right. Is he still here? Yeah. So yeah, he's out of the UFC. So yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of iffy, because Volkov isn't going in against, Walt Harris, a fighter who's probably still mentally distraught and who probably, he probably isn't 100% focused on fighting right now. And then Alistair Overeem, who has been fighting for, fucking decades almost, bro. Almost decades, for sure over a decade, for way longer than a decade. And he just retired, or he just got kicked out of the UFC. So I mean, Ciryl Gane isn't either of those guys. Ciryl Gane is this fucking this fresh face, hasn't taken a lot of damage in his career, and he hasn't taken a lot of damage in his career in MMA or kickboxing, due to the fact that he is just that good technically. Like, that's honestly what it is. I have never seen a heavyweight fighter as technically sound when it comes to striking as Ciryl Gane. Like, I would stand here and wait. The only other fighter, I would say, the only other heavyweight MMA fighter that I would say is somewhat close to the level of technical as Ciryl Gane displays was Bas Rutten. And that was because Bas Rutten was just far advanced for his time that he was fighting in heavyweight. And it really showed. But I mean, I can't think of another featherweight that was just, like really sound at everything, because he's not just good on the stand-up, he's good on the ground as well. I can't think of one more heavyweight that was just like, who's as good as Ciryl Gane on a technical level when it comes to striking. I think right now in the heavyweight division, the only other person that is as technically sound, or not as technically sound, but somewhat similar or somewhat technically sound, like Ciryl Gane, is probably Alexander Volkov. Yeah, I think that's the only other guy. And I really think that Alexander Volkov, I don't think that he's going to do this well in this fight, because he's fighting somebody that isn't like a traditional heavyweight. Usually Alexander Volkov is used to fighting guys that are mostly head hunters. He's used to fighting guys that won't throw oblique kicks, or won't throw, spinning back kicks, or won't throw side kicks, or, won't fucking feint kicks or feint head. Like, bro, like, I mean, not feint head, feint hands. Like, Ciryl Gane is going to mix Alexander Volkov up. I feel like he's going to mix him up in a way that Alexander Volkov never really had to deal with. I don't think Alexander Volkov has ever dealt with a guy, that just mostly wasn't trying to take his head off. A guy that is just taking his time with Alexander, and working the leg kicks when they're there, working the teeps when they're there, throwing him off balance, switching stances constantly. Let's not forget about that. Ciryl Gane is constantly giving people different looks. That's part of what makes him so dangerous, is that he's constantly giving you different looks, so much so that you really don't know what he's going to throw. And the fact that he'll hit you in the torso, he'll hit you in the legs, and he'll hit you in the head, makes it all the more that confusing, especially for, like I said, a guy like Alexander Volkov, who usually doesn't come up against something like that. He usually doesn't have to deal with dynamic striking in the heavyweight division. When it comes to the heavyweight division, Alexander Volkov, thus far, is the standard of dynamic striking. You don't get strikers as dynamic in the heavyweight division as Alexander Volkov. You just don't. unless you're talking about Cyril Gane. And I think that's where this is going to be really tough for Alexander Volkov, because Cyril Gane is looking for you to mix it up. He expects you to mix it up because he mixes it up. That's why he does it. I guess maybe not, because he's a heavyweight too, and he does fight a lot of guys that aren't as technically sound. But him coming from a Muay Thai, professional Muay Thai background does definitely help him out with that, because he's definitely seen heavyweights that can be dynamic strikers while he was in Muay Thai or kickboxing, or Muay Thai rather. So he's looking for the dynamic striking. The problem is that thus far, there has been no dynamic strikers in the heavyweight division. So that just makes his rise to fame or his rise to glory all that easy. So that being said, I will say that this is going to be the toughest challenge of Cyril Gane's career thus far in MMA. I would definitely say that Alexander Volkov is a very dynamic striker, and he's going to show just that in this fight. And I really do think that Cyril Gane is more than prepared and more than able to deal with the dynamic strikes that come from Alexander Volkov. I really think that this is going to be a good fight, though. But I do have Cyril Gane in this fight nonetheless. And so I guess that leads us to Derrick Lewis and what Derrick Lewis is going to be doing as a result of all this. Now let's see. Oh boy, Derrick Lewis is at number 2 here. So he's not too far out from that win against Curtis Blades. When was that? That was February. It is May now? Oh, it's 420 today, bro. I didn't even know it's 420. Look at that. That's what happens, bro. When you smoke weed every day. Hey. No, I'm just joking. Don't smoke weed everywhere. Don't smoke weed every day, guys. It's not conductive to a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, Derrick Lewis is coming off that KO win to the Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades was tagging him in that fight, but he really didn't sustain that much damage in that Curtis Blades fight. So I'm not really sure where Derrick Lewis really goes from here. I can't imagine that he fights Stipe Miocic, because Stipe is going to be out for a little bit, a while. And I don't know if, Derrick Lewis will be willing to wait until October or November or, probably, maybe December, whenever Stipe comes back. So, maybe and of course, Derrick Lewis is not going to fight Curtis Blades again, right? So I'm not sure where this John Jones arc is going. I'm not really sure at all. I'm not sure if John Jones is even going to fight Francis Ngannou. Honestly, if John Jones is still trying to, haggle out a deal with the UFC, I think we need to see Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou for that goddamn belt. What do you guys think? I think we need to see Francis. For a second, please. For a second, fuck John Jones for a second, right? We thought that Francis Ngannou versus Derrick Lewis 1 was going to be the craziest heavyweight fight ever. And it turned out that it was the least craziest heavyweight fight of all time, bro. It was probably the most boring heavyweight fight of all time. It probably was that. And I'm talking about in all of combat sports, Francis versus Derrick 1 was the worst. Oh, the absolute worst heavyweight fight ever since the days of the Romans, since the days of the since the days of the fucking Nephilim ever. It was really bad, really bad. So I think that now that Derrick Lewis has definitely found his stride, now that Francis Ngannou has found his stride, now that Francis is champ, I think that we hold off on the John Jones. Okay? We hold off on the John Jones for right now. I really thought that Derrick Lewis was going to be Cyril Gane, so I really didn't take this into account. I really thought that Derrick Lewis would end up fighting Cyril Gane, and that John Jones would end up fighting the winner of Stipe and Francis. Since this John Jones thing doesn't seem to be happening, or I guess they're still in talks, I'm not really sure. I say, you know, if Dana and his fucking bald-headed boys there, his bald-headed steroid boys, get tired of fucking around with the John Jones, I say they go right to Derrick Lewis. Give Derrick Lewis his fucking shot, bro, and give the fans a do-over for that last fucking fight, bro. Dude, people were dead. People were so disappointed in Derrick Lewis and Francis Ngannou after that fight. And we get it. You both guys hit like Mack trucks. We get it. But when we go, bro, when two juggernauts get put together, dude, like that's not what people expect to happen. It really isn't. They don't expect them to just fucking stall out. I think I've been saying this for a long time, guys. I've been saying this since that fight. I've been saying that Francis Ngannou and Derrick Lewis don't deserve a title shot. I've said this. They don't deserve a title shot until they run that shit back. Apparently that didn't happen. Obviously that didn't happen. But hey, bro, we're here. Stipe is number one, but Stipe got knocked out. Stipe is trying to relax, trying to fucking fix his neck. Curtis got flatlined by Derrick. So I mean, shit, dude, Curtis is out. Cyril's caught up with Alexander Volkov. John Jones is playing games. John Jones don't want 12 million. Don't want fucking 15 million. Nigga wants like wait, what does he want? Like I think they offered him like what 3 or like how much they offered him? They offered him like 10 or 15 million and he wanted 50 million. So I mean, like I don't know, bro. Like I can't see the UFC paying John Jones $50 million. I really cannot see that. So I mean, Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, in my opinion, would sell far more. Woo! Derrick Lewis and Francis Ngannou would sell far more than John Jones versus Ngannou ever could dream of. You know this, right, Dana? Dana, make me your right-hand man so I can tell you how to do the good things in life that will make your fucking life even better and that will put more money in your goddamn piggy bank that you like to swim in, Dana. Why not Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou? Is this in talks? It should be in talks. Because if John Jones is playing games, or if John Jones wants 50 million, like I'm pretty sure his tune will change real quick when you guys announce Ngannou versus Lewis 2 for the UFC World Heavyweight title. And dude, could you imagine like the promos? Could you imagine like the promo videos for this fight, Francis Ngannou versus Derrick Lewis? Could you imagine what that shit looks like? Because like they've been absolutely murdering everyone since they fought each other, bro. Like Derrick Lewis has only dropped that one loss to DC, the GOAT. You know? It's okay when you lose to the GOAT. It's okay to lose to the GOAT sometimes. The GOAT's the GOAT. So yeah, I mean, like Derrick Lewis, since that Ngannou fight, has literally only lost to Daniel Cormier. Had that beautiful comeback victory against Alexander Volkov. Absolutely destroyed the legend Junior Dos Santos in the second round. Fucking honestly put it on Ivanov for 3 rounds. You know, it was really interesting. We saw like a lot of interesting striking from Lewis in that fight, and it showed that Lewis had he's just much more than just hands. He's much more than just hands. Same thing in the Ilir Latifi fight. You know, he showcased his takedown defense. his grappling defense, and he showcased some more incredible striking. Same thing in the Olenek fight. He did the exact same thing. Showcased good ground defense or good takedown defense and all-around grappling defense. And he also showcased fantastic striking, knocking Olenek out in the beginning of the second round. And then we know how the Blades fight ended. Curtis Blades was putting it on Derrick Lewis. And honestly, I'd say if Curtis Blades just kept it standing that entire 5 minutes, he would have been tired. Derrick would have been hella tired too. But, he probably could have won that one. But the first time Curtis Blades shot in for that takedown, he was met with what? The motherfucker of all uppercuts, dude. The uppercut from Derrick Lewis, dude. And it definitely did end his night right there. So and then likewise we look at my boy. We look at Francis Ngannou. Wait, I can't click on his name. It's fucking weird. Here, let's go up here. We look at Francis Ngannou here. And since the Derrick Lewis fight, he's done just the same amount of damage, bro. Of course, Lewis wins that fight by way of decision. Ngannou goes on to fight Curtis Blades again, knocks him out again in the first round, goes on to fight Cain Velasquez. That was a big comeback fight for Cain Velasquez. Got knocked out first 26 seconds. Goes on to fight another legend, Junior Dos Santos, knocks him out in the first minute and 11 seconds. Goes on to fight Jairzinho Rozenstruik, in which he knocked out in 20 seconds. And then he fights Stipe Miocic, knocking Stipe the GOAT knocking him out in just 52 seconds of the second round, dude. So I mean, both these guys have been doing wonderfully. I think it's probably time to make Derrick versus Francis too. I think that's probably where we need to be headed next with Derrick Lewis. So that was it for the heavyweight boys. That's it for Derrick Lewis, Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov. What else we have here? Ooh, so let's talk about this. We have two more things to talk about. Let's talk about this first. TJ Dillashaw is coming back against Corey Sandhagen, and I don't know. I'm kind of very worried for TJ in this fight. I think that of course, TJ has been probably training his ass off this entire time, but I mean, like, this is going to be a rough fight to come back to. You're coming back against Corey Sandhagen, who has just been doing the Lord's work in his past two fights, knocking out fucking Marlon Moraes in the second round with like a spinning heel kick, and following up with it, and knocking Frankie Edgar off with a walk-off flying knee in the first 28 seconds of the first round. So Sandhagen is definitely hungry after he lost that quickly. How fast did he lose to Sterling? He lost in the first minute and 28 seconds against Aljamain Sterling by way of rear naked choke, right? Yeah, I believe it was rear naked choke. So, yeah, man, I really am interested in see how, or I really am interested to see how TJ kind of deals with this. Of course, TJ is coming off of a loss. Here, can I find TJ? Where's TJ? Okay, it's champs. Is there like a search button? You guys have a search button? What is this website, Dana? Dana, what is this website, bro? I'm looking at, bro. This is such a shit. This is shit. Sandhagen, Corey Sandhagen. All right, this is how we'll do this. So I'm really interested to see how TJ kind of comebacks or comes back rather after that loss against Henry Cejudo, and then being caught up for those EPOs. So like, that's a bad look. He's been gone for what, 2 years? It's been 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. He's finally back, And dude, he has a big test in front of him. Let's not forget, dude, TJ's been doing this for a very long time as well. He's doing this since fucking 2010. The guy is a veteran, and the guy definitely does have some baggage on him. He has a lot of years, man. He's getting up there. Corey Sandhagen is still, relatively young, basically just getting started. Hasn't really taken too much bad damage in his career. And on top of that, the scariest thing is that he's the much taller fighter, and he's probably the much hungrier fighter. I mean, we haven't really heard too much from TJ in these past 2 years, but we know how, how hungry TJ has always been, and how down for the action and how game TJ has always been. And I definitely think that those qualities in TJ are still going to be there. But Jesus Christ, dude, I'm not sure how much they're going to help him out against Corey Sandhagen. I mean, Frankie Edgar's was another fighter. Frankie Edgar's slightly older than TJ Dillashaw at 39. But dude, these short guys, these shorter guys, dude, they aren't really a good matchup for this fucking Corey Sandhagen kid. But TJ Dillashaw has been in there against the bigger guys before, and he definitely, I would say, he should know what to do against like the guys that are a little bigger. But Jesus Christ, the striking that Corey Sandhagen has been showcasing thus far has been very scary. TJ definitely has a lot on his plate and a lot to deal with, and I really don't know if TJ should be coming back against the number 2 ranked fighter. I don't think if that's like, I understand that the UFC is trying to be fair to TJ because, he was just champ, not that long ago. I think they're trying to be fair to him. But I mean, to have him fight Corey Sandhagen, like he couldn't come back against maybe Rob Font, maybe Jose Aldo, maybe Cody again, give Cody another shot at him. Cody was talking shit. Cody was really upset about, the fact that he got caught. Maybe that would yield a pretty good storyline. I think it would, between Cody Garbrandt and, TJ Dillashaw. I think that would have been interesting. And this is what the UFC, the UFC should really focus on storylines. And not so much to the extent of like the point that it becomes, professional wrestling. But I think that storylines are very, very important, sometimes more important than the actual rankings and the championships. I think that Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw would be a huge fight, especially if you show the how the fight ended the last time, and like the tweets and the talks and the downfall of TJ Dillashaw getting caught with the EPOs after being dropped in the first round by a 125er in Henry Cejudo. And then you could put on Cody Garbrandt, calling TJ out, calling him a cheater, saying you probably cheated in my fight, saying that, he wants that fight overturned, this and that. Dude, there was a lot of beef. There was a lot of drama behind TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt. And I understand the UFC is trying to do their boy a service by giving him Corey Sandhagen. I just don't think that is going to do my boy any good service. I don't think that's going to be of service to TJ Dillashaw by giving him this animal, Corey Sandhagen. But I mean, fuck, dude, it was either Rob Font. I would much rather see Rob Font versus Corey Sandhagen too. I think that shit would be interesting. They both just, Rob Font just knocked out what was it, Marlon Moraes? It was like a jab or something like that, dude. Corey Sandhagen knocked out Marlon Moraes, knocked out Frankie Edgar. That would be a better showing than TJ Dillashaw. But yet TJ Dillashaw gets this fight. I'm not sure if TJ asked for this fight, or if he wanted this fight, he just didn't care. He was just excited to get back in there. But yeah, TJ, you got your plate full with this Corey Sandhagen, dude. He's not gonna go in there and fuck around with you. And he is by far the more active fighter. So fucking good luck to TJ, I guess. And the last bit of information here. And for this one, we're gonna go to Fight Finder, go to UFC fights, and goddamn boy, we're gonna have to do it. Where is it at? Here it is. Let's talk about it. Ooh, Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. Ooh, Jessica Eye versus Jennifer Maya. Ooh, Ryan Hall versus was it Ilya Taporia? That's interesting. El Matador. I didn't know. Fucking tied to Ivasa versus Greg Hardy. I feel like that fight already happened, didn't it? Oh, it didn't happen. Okay, that's interesting. Tied to Ivasa, getting a second win. He's won his last fight against who's his last fight? Against Harry Hunsucker in the first round. Tied to Ivasa is getting some much needed wins after having some having like a rocky start to his UFC career. Very interesting. We have Omari Akhmedov versus Brad Tavares. That's based. Jerome Rivera. Damn, I don't know if Jerome should be fighting this quickly, bro. I don't know, dude. It hasn't been very good. Tyson Nam knocked him out in September. He lost that fight against Francisco Figueiredo in January. And O'Day knocked him out. O'Day Osborne knocked him out in February. I think that this kid, and now he's fighting this fucking Dagestani, or who's this guys from? This Kazakhstani dude. He's fighting this fucking Kazakhstani, and this Kazakhstani is coming off, some decision loss. But this Zalgas Zumagulov. This guy he's pretty game, dude. He's a game fucking fighter. He's a game opponent. Like, Jerome has really got to be careful in that fight. He's on the fucking thin line, dude. He did really good in the the contender series, but I mean, maybe he should have just stayed in the LFA for a little bit. I'm just saying. So that's interesting. Some great fights, honestly. I'm interested in all these fights. I like all these guys so far. But let's talk about the main event here. Let's talk about Dustin Poirier. Let's talk about Conor McGregor. And most importantly, let's talk about why. Why? Now, since Conor McGregor, since they put him in this lightweight division, I have felt that, one, he hasn't been fighting the caliber of fighters that he should be fighting. Because here's the thing about Conor. I really want to see Conor do good. Conor's best years were in featherweight. Best years were as a featherweight. He has the Eddie Alvarez fight, which he did very well in, became the champ. And then he has the Khabib fight, which he got dominated in. And he had the Dustin Poirier fight, which, he got dominated in, bro. I mean, I wouldn't say he got dominated. There were still flashes of hope for a while there for Conor McGregor. But, those dreams quickly deteriorated into nothing. And they deteriorated into a TKO victory for Dustin Poirier. And Dustin Poirier, getting a little bit of revenge on Conor McGregor for, from that original loss that he suffered to him, I think in maybe 2014. I forget how long ago that shit was. Yeah, 2014. So my thing is, why? Why is this happening? So he beat Conor McGregor in the lightweight division once. That's hit Conor McGregor down from 5 or 4 to 6. I honestly was of the belief that Conor shouldn't fight in the top 5 at lightweight. I didn't think that would be very good for Conor. I didn't think that he'd have much of a chance against anybody in the top 5. And I think that he would have trouble with a lot of the people, 10 through 6. So like I felt like he should come in. He should have came in and probably fought, somebody like Beneil, or maybe somebody like Paul Felder, or somebody like that. Maybe Tony Ferguson. But not anybody like Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier was literally number 1 at the time. I think Conor was like number 4, number 3, which was kind of ridiculous to me, seeing as he had only had 2 fights in the lightweight division, one of which he got decimated in. So, kind of a weird thing to do. I personally think he fought Dustin Poirier, who's literally right now at the top of his fucking game right now in the lightweight division. And, Conor fucked around and found out in that second fight. And it was kind of odd when I heard that they were going to make a third fight so quickly. Like, I think, like, I don't, like, is it just that, like, maybe Conor thinks that he could have done better in the second fight, and maybe Dustin Poirier just wants money? But I really do think that this storyline is forced. This fight is really forced. The second fight made sense. It really did make sense because, Dustin Poirier got knocked out in their first fight. He's number 1 now. He was just champ not too long ago. So, the second fight made sense. This third fight, it seems kind of like greed more than anything else. And I think it's a real disservice to Conor McGregor to have to fight the guy who is honestly out of his league in this division. Dustin Poirier, I've been saying this since Conor was even ranked in lightweight division, that Dustin Poirier is not the same person he was in 2014, in that he is far beyond Conor McGregor right now. I feel that Conor McGregor has been gone for much too long, and he's had so little action in these times. He's been away. I think that Conor McGregor should have came in the lightweight division and he should have fought somebody like 6 through 10. He really should have. And the fact that he is going to fight number 1 in the world again, Dustin Poirier, I think that's just it's a disservice to him. It's a disservice to his legacy. It's a disservice to what Conor McGregor potentially could be after he gets a couple of meaningful fights under his belt in this division. I think that this is a shining example of the greed of Dana White. When you see Dana White at these press conferences, you think that he's sweating sometimes. When you see him, he's a little sweaty or whatever. No, that's greed. That's literally greed in the form of sweat coming out of his pores. That's what he does. He doesn't sweat. He sweats greed. That's what he does. He doesn't even call it sweating. He calls it greeding. That's what he calls when he sweats. He says it's greed because it's not sweat coming out of his pores. It's greed. And this is, like I said, a shining example of the greed of Dana White, making this fight again, not thinking about Conor McGregor, because after all, Conor McGregor was never his friend. So, he's just looking to make money off of the name of Conor McGregor. So was Dustin Poirier. And it's sad that Conor McGregor is allowing himself to just be fucking taken advantage of like this. If I was Conor McGregor, I'd be like, no, fuck that. Fuck Dustin. Let Dustin fight for the championship as he should be. Dustin Poirier should be fighting for the fucking championship right now, not training to fight Conor McNuggets again. I'm sorry. He should not be training to fight Conor again this quickly. He really shouldn't. So instead we get Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler, which is still a very good fight. I like Charles Oliveira, love Charles Oliveira, like Michael Chandler. So that's an interesting fight to watch. So I mean I'm kind of fucking perplexed here, dude. This shit kind of fucking it's beyond me, really. My thing is, why do this again? Why make Conor lose again? Like, he just lost. He will lose again. No amount of time has passed. Like, very little amount of time. Basically, no amount of time has passed since they fought. And they're going to make him do it again just so fucking Dana can get some more money. I guess Conor can use some more money, and Dustin can, use some more money. Does very good things with this money, too. But I think this is this greed, the greed of Dana White just kind of stagnates these divisions. Even though we will have a champion here soon, we will have a champion out of Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. I think that Dustin Poirier should definitely be focusing on better things. Maybe he just wants that payday. I get it, man. Get your money, bro. But hey, it's I don't think it's fair to Conor McGregor, bro. I really don't. I think he needs to be I think he needs to have training wheels on in this division just for now. Just for now, bro, because he really doesn't deserve to be in the top in the top. Well, I think it's kind of a stretch. I mean, it's kind of a stretch, bro. He shouldn't be fighting anyone in the top 5 for sure. For sure, Conor McGregor, since he got here, he should have been in the top 5, and he shouldn't have been fighting anybody in the top 5. That's for damn sure. At least not a lightweight. So yeah, man. Look forward to that loss, I guess. I don't know why he would do that to himself. But yeah, as all things are, or all things go the way of, we have to end it here, as all things do. Hey, it's been a fucking great time, man. It's been like, what, 2 hours talking about all this shit. I really don't know why fucking Conor McGregor was ranked in the lightweight division at all, bro. That shit blows my mind. It really does. But fuck, dude, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. For those that, hung out, to the end, or those that, hung out at all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, whatever you did. More to come, definitely. I think like the long format style is probably a little bit better than me, or a little bit better for me rather. And just, maybe cutting like little segments in pieces. Maybe that's fucking cool as well. Kind of like this style. So yeah, man, that's all we have for today. We have what's coming up before you leave out just yet. So let's look at these upcoming fights we have. We have the Archuleta Pettis fight on May 7th coming up, in which we watch Patricky's fighting, in which we watch Patrick Mix is fighting. Michael Page is fighting. Bro, who is this nigga in that No, bro, we're about to go for another hour on this nigga, bro. No, he isn't, bro. Bro, I think we're gonna have to talk about Michael Page. We're 2 hours in here. We're 2 hours in this show, dude. 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I am going to have to talk about Michael Page, bro. Because goddamn, who the fuck is Derrick Anderson, bro? All right, has he been doing good? Has he been okay? So like we've got to talk about this. So like let's type in Bellator inaugural rankings. The Bellator ranking structure is completely fucked. Let's look at this shit, dude. All right, so men's pound for pound, Volkov. Okay, cool. Let's go down to men's welterweight. For whatever reason, I saw this a while ago. For whatever reason, Michael Page is number 1 in the welterweight division. Now, I'm not sure how often Bellator releases their rankings, or if they like update their rankings as often as the UFC does. But who has Michael Page fought to earn this number 1 spot? How is Michael Venom Page ranked right now? And how is my man Paul Daly not ranked? Honestly. And I love Michael Page. I love to watch Michael Page do what he does, dude. Let's Michael Venom Page. Okay, there you go. So let's see. Ross Houston was his last fight. I think Ross Houston, that was his debut. That was literally his debut. Bellator debut. He fights this Shinsho Enzai. Let's see if Shinsho is ranked. Shinsho Enzai is not ranked. He fights Giovanni Melillo. I don't know if Giovanni is ranked. Giovanni is not ranked. He fights Richard Keeley, and Richard Keeley is not ranked either. He fights Douglas Lima, in which he does good against Douglas Lima. He just got caught, honestly. You know, loses against Douglas Lima. Obviously, he had the tournament fight against Paul Daly, in which he won. He beat David Rickles. I think David Rickles is he ranked? No, David Rickles is not ranked. Fernando Gonzalez. You know, like, I mean, and then of course, Cyborg Santos. So, I mean, like, it kind of perplexes me how Michael Page, and I get that Michael Page is probably like a cash cow. People like to watch this guy fight, but like, who? All right, so Derrick Anderson is actually ranked number 5. So we actually have an instance where he is actually going to fight a ranked guy. I haven't seen much from this Derrick Anderson guy. Excuse me. But I mean, he's been with Bellator since 13. He's beat Patricky Pitbull. He's lost to Brent Primus. He beat Patricky Pitbull twice. Beat Saad Awad. Dude, a lot of fucking decisions. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, ooh, wait, what is this? Soccer kick, KO. What? Soccer kick? Am I reading that right? I guess we need to see that. I would like to see that. Can we see that? Where's that fight at? Oh, it was legal. That's right. Oh, I remember that fight. I remember this fight. Yeah, dude, he landed a legal soccer kick, bro. Legal soccer kick. Like the dude Mota, he fell down and he was getting up, and as he got up, like perfectly as he got up, Derrick Anderson just catches him with a soccer kick as he was getting up, drops him back to the ground, bro. Ooh. I remember this Derrick Anderson kid, dude. Derrick Anderson. Kick. Woo! Let's look at that. All right, so as you see, Mota is trying to get up. And as he's trying to get up, he just catches a soccer kick. And personally, I believe that Mota was fine, right? Like Mota was fine. Mota kind of looked at the ref. You see, like, Mota right there, and then he kind of like fakes it. Or, you know, he has a timeout. I honestly think that Mota could have gotten up. I really think, but you know, let's see that kick one more time. You see this? See how flush it was. Oh, it's pretty flush. Oh yeah, it's pretty flush. Well, no, that's not really that flush. That's like toes. And then look at that. And then look, like, and you see, like, right when he gets kicked, Mota like looks at the ref and he's like, "Hey man, what the fuck? Did you see that?" You know? Hey, dude, good eye for like this guy for like focusing in on that, the fact that he was kind of playing. So I mean, I wouldn't say he's playing. I mean, I'm sure that sucked, but I mean, like, yeah, that shit really didn't land like that. I remember that fight now. So this Derrick Anderson guy is going to be fighting Michael Page. So I mean, I guess it'll be interesting. He has just as many fights as Michael Page. I think that's good. I'm really interested to see what happens when Michael Page, fights somebody. This guy's ranked number 5. Fight somebody, ranked, man. Like, he did very good. he's very good against Paul Daly. I mean, he was winning. He was literally winning the Douglas Lima fight in my book, dude. He was winning the Douglas. I liked him in the Douglas Lima fight. He just got caught with some, some fuck shit. It happens. But hey, dude, maybe we're gonna, like, he's 34 years old, man. Like, he's gotta hurry up. He really has to hurry up. Like, his prime is fading away quickly. So I mean, I guess we just see, dude. I didn't know he was even fighting. That's interesting. Fighting at Bellator 258. Juan Archuleta. Juan Archuleta versus, can we see the entire fight card? Juan Archuleta versus Sergio Pettis. It's gonna be a good one. We also have to we have to look forward to this Anthony Johnson. I can't talk anymore. Anthony Johnson and Yoel Romero fight. The Patricky Pitbull, the Peter Queally fight. Patrick Mix. I'm not sure who Patrick Mix is fighting though. Ooh, and Michael Page versus Derrick Anderson. I didn't even know that shit was happening, dude. Interesting. So we have that to look forward to. Let's see. Fight Finders, Bellator fight. What comes after that? Cyborg versus Smith fight. What's going on here? Not too much. Oh, that guy has my name, bro. Oh, is that the heavyweight dude? Oh no, that's not the same guy. I think I'm thinking about Tyrone Fortune. Is that the dude I'm thinking about? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we have Bellator 258. Let's look at UFC real fast, see what they have going on. We all obviously have Usman versus Masvidal, Reyes versus Prochazka. That's gonna be fucking an interesting one. Yuri Prochazka, I think that's the only guy. Wait, hold on. So like he fought Vadim Nimkov rather. He beat Vadim Nimkov. I think he's the only guy to beat Vadim, or no, one of two guys. But I mean, like, bro, Yuri really put it on Vadim in that fight. He put it on him in a very bad way. This Yuri Prochazka guy is not fucking around with anyone, bro. And very soon, we could very well see him fight against the fucking Polish champ there. If the Polish champ is able to make it out of his fight with Glover Teixeira, that is. But Yuri Prochazka versus Dominic Reyes, that is going to be a very good fight. What else we have on this card? We have Devin Clark and Cutilaba. Cody Stamen versus Merab Dish. How do you pronounce his name? Velishvili. Merab Velishvili. What else we have on here? Randy Marcos going in. Ooh, Sean Strickland versus Christoph Jotko. Oh, bro, this is gonna be fucking nuts. This is gonna be crazy, bro. Christoph Jotko versus Sean Strickland. That's gonna be a very good fight. Ooh, Kunklak. Sam Hughes. She's a game woman right there. She got stopped by Tisha Torres. I think she took that fight against Tisha Torres on short notice. So I mean, I don't think that really should be held against her too much. Taking the fight against Tisha Torres like that on short notice versus Konklak Sufisara. I love this woman, dude. Loma, look on me, dude. Dude, her Muay Thai is fucking sick. Her last fight was against Jin Yu Fry, and she absolutely dominated Jin Yu Fry because Jin Yu Fry was absolutely perplexed by the clinch. Didn't know what to do with that clinch, and Kunklak just used the clinch, used that Muay Thai style to just fucking run right through Jin Yu Fry rather. And she fights Sam Hughes. That's gonna be I'm looking forward to that fight for sure. That's gonna be really good. Let's see what else we have. What other cards? Of course, Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. Ooh, Neil Magny versus Jeff Neal. Ooh, that fight was supposed to happen in August, but Jeff Neal had to pull out because he had it went in like the septic shock, bro. Like he got really sick. And it's like, I think like this infection got in like his bloodstream or something, bro. Like he was really close to death's door. So yeah, I mean, he lost that fight. He dropped that fight to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But hopefully that fight against Stephen Thompson taught him something, because he's gonna really have to be on point against Neil Magny. And Neil Magny is coming off of a tough loss against damn, how did I forget this? I'm gonna remember his name. I'm not gonna look it up. Fuck. The Italian. Hey, I'm a lightweight. I'm an Italian. I'm trying to fucking here. Let me put my Italian face on there. I'm gonna put my Italian face on. We're gonna think about this guy's name. Oh, I'm Italian, and I'm trying to think about the fighter in the lightweight division that's Italian like me. Oh, what's his name? What I forgot. What's his name? Oh yeah, I gotta fucking channel the Italiano. That's what I'm doing right now. Damn, I forget his name, bro. I'm gonna have to just look it up. Apparently, I cannot channel Italiano today, so I'm just gonna have to look him up. He fought Neil Magny and Michael Chiesa, of course, bro. Fucking Michael Chiesa, that's his name. He lost a big time to Michael Chiesa. So I mean, both men are coming from pretty big losses. So I mean, I'm glad this fight is finally taking place now. We also have Donald Cerrone versus Diego Sanchez. This is going to be a war, I suspect. I'm not sure if Diego Sanchez has actually gotten a team together or actually gotten trainers together or not. Hopefully he has, because it'd be very terrible to see him go down for lack of, trainers. It'd be terrible. Talia Santos, what was her last fight? Jillian Robertson. Yeah, I mean, like Talia Santos versus Roxanne Modafferi. Who did Roxanne Modafferi just lose to? She just lost a fight. Yeah, Vivian Araujo, rather. So yeah, dude, that's gonna be a tough fight for Roxanne. Hopefully she doesn't get banged up in that fight. Diego Ferreira is coming off that loss against that rubber match against damn, I forgot this man's name. I'm forgetting everybody's name, dude. Beneil Dariush. And Gregor Gillespie we haven't seen Gregor since he caught that lead roundhouse to the head by Kevin Lee. So it's good to see him back. See what he's able to do in this fight against Diego Ferreira. Definitely getting a fight against a game opponent, dude. Diego's ready for it, and he's fresh. He's just coming off of a 5-round fight, I believe, right? I believe it went to unanimous decision or split decision. Yeah, he's just coming off of a 3-round fight, rather. 3-round fight against Beneil Dariush. So you better believe that he's ready. Amanda Ribas versus Angela Hill, that should be based. Felipe Lins versus Ben Rothwell should be based. Tafan Nchukwi. All right, Tafan Nchukwi versus Jun Young Park. Very interesting. I always like to see Tafan Nchukwi fight. Dude, I don't know. It seems pretty legit. Ryan Benoit, could he? Yeah, maybe not. Every time I hear the name Benoit, I want that person to be related to Chris Benoit, the wrestler that killed his family. I don't know. Some weird thing I have inside my head. We have Oliveira versus Chandler. Ooh, that's where Leon versus Nate is taking place. We also have Beneil versus Tony. We have Edson versus Shane Burgos. Ooh, Jack Hermanson versus Edmund Shabazian. Ooh, Lando Venata versus Mike Grundy. Ooh, Ronaldo Souza versus Andre Muniz. Ooh, Kaylin Chikugian versus Vivian Araujo. Matt Schnell versus Alex Perez. Fuck. And Antonina Shevchenko versus Andrea Lee. Christos Giagos versus Joel Alvarez, Jamie Pickett versus Jordan Wright, Kevin Aguilar versus Tucker Lutz. Fuck, that's gonna be a very, very good card. Ooh. Damn, dude. Let's look at Font versus Garbrandt. Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. That's gonna be a good one. Carlos Esparza versus Xiaonan Yan Xiaonan. Felicia Spencer versus Danielle Wolf. Justin Taffa. I've seen Justin Taffa in a while. I think like he was coming off a loss, right? Yeah, Carlos Felipe. Who else we have? Yancy Medeiros versus Damir Hadzovic. Court McGee. Yeah, Court McGee versus Claudio Silva. Interesting. David Dvorak down here at in the prelims. Yeah, interesting card. Got any more? Ooh, Rosenstrike versus Sakai. I didn't know this was even a thing that was happening. That is going to be interesting. Marcin Tybura versus Walt Harris. Ilir Latifi versus Tanner Bozer. Dang, bro, that's going to be a heavy card. Alessio de Chirico versus Roman Dolite. I like, was it? That's the Caucasian, right? Is that his mixed name? Yeah, the Caucasian. I like that guy, dude. Yeah, he just fucking lost that fight to Trevin Giles, but I like that guy. Santiago Ponzinibbio in the second fight against Miguel Beza. Who's this Miguel Beza? Fucking unbeaten, 7 KOs, 1 submission, no decisions, right? Or 2 decisions rather. Interesting. Youssef Zalal, the man from where is he from? Morocco versus Sean Woodson. It's an interesting fight. Let's move on. Oh, Tom Breeze fighting that as well. Figueiredo versus Moreno too. That's gonna be a good card. Damian Maia, Bilal Muhammad, Brad Riddle, Drew Dober. Oof. Paul Craig, Jamahal Hill rather. Frank Camacho down there. Yeah, we got some stuff here. Some fights there. Korean Zombie versus Ige. God damn, I didn't even know that was a thing. Diego Lima versus Matt Brown. Marlon Vera versus Davey Grant. Excuse my words. Marlon Vera versus Davey Grant, bro. That shit is going to be fire, bro. Oh my God. Tyson Nam versus Tagir Ulanbekov. Let's see. Yeah, you got a lot of. Yeah, it's interesting, bro. Oh, Verna Jandaroba rather versus Kanako Murata. Interesting. Where's she coming from? Invicta Raisin. All right, cool. Base. Gane versus Volkov. Who's in this fight? St. Preux, Maxim Grishin, Charles Rosa versus Justin James. Timur Valiev. Tim Elliott. Got Ed Herman down there. Alex Hernandez. Punahele. Soriano. Who's this guy? Okay, beat Jamie Pickett. Beat Oscar Paichota. Let's go Todorovic. Okay. Interesting, dude. Interesting stuff, man. Yeah, so we got some pretty good cards. And then the last but not least, Blackowitz versus Teixeira. How many people are on this card? Okay, that's just Nunez versus Pena. Okay, that's just the here. Misha Tate versus Marion Renault. Billy Quarantillo versus Herbert Burns. Damn. Francisco Figueiredo versus Malcolm Gordon. Okay. That's the end to this thing. That's the end to this thing, I guess. Okay, Trevor Jones, Tom Kelly, Rafa Garcia. All right, well, let's look at this Poirier versus Conor card. Oh, we already saw this. Yeah, so I mean, like, those are the cards upcoming. Got some stuff for Bellator. Of course, we got like the Bellator card coming up too as well. Got some stuff from one. Got an all women's one card coming up. Oh, so yeah, man, quite a lot to look forward to in the world of MMA. And with that, I think I'm gonna call this a video. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Whichever whichever mode you're enjoying this content on, or from, or through, just appreciate you for indulging. And I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, take it easy.